is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. Going beast mode when the game begin. I worked all summer to be a champion. At Venice High School, all we do is win. Man, it feel good to be an Indian.
And welcome to this week's edition of the John Peacock Coach Show. I'm John Massoni here with Venice Indian head football coach John Peacock. And coach, a little different style.
Speed dating.
We're face to face.
Yeah.
It's a little different. So we
took our table today.
We're accommodating a big party here at Bogies tonight. But again, we always talk about this, and then it always comes true as we move further and further into the season.
Yep.
It goes from two people waving to us to now a packed house here at Bogies in Alberta Park.
Might be as a big house because we want to come see what we had to say about Riverview.
I think a little bit of it because they're very curious. People are coming by and saying, "Why are those guys sitting at that table that way, doing what they're talking to each other?" But we are doing the John Peacock Coaches Show, so we are going to talk about last Friday's game first. Riverview Rams came into Powell Davis Stadium. Big rivalry, as expected. A very good crowd for a Thanksgiving weekend game and all the festivities leading up to it. Indians come away with a regional championship and a 49-23 victory over the Rams.
Yeah, again, I thought our kids came out and played well right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's been one of our main concerns and our main focus when the playoffs start is how are we going to start the game off and how are we going to establish who we are at the beginning of each game.
7-6 score. We scored, missed a 2-point conversion. They came down the field and scored pretty much right after that. Instantaneously. Yeah. So Carl Lewis with an 80-yard touchdown catch where it was a lot of him doing what he does normally, which is excite the crowd with exciting, tough running and gets himself into the end zone. And from that point forward, it sort of just kind of played out the way we could have hoped, which is a pretty much dominating first half.
Jaden Glasser had another big night.
Oh, yeah.
All the receivers had big nights. When I say big nights, it was kind of all – they were all kind of around the same numbers except Zakarl was a little bit above them. Again, he was 17 of 20.
17 out of 20, 350 yards, 4 TDs. I can tell you too that again he spreading the ball around to 6 different receivers, and I will tell you this, and I know you can attest to this as well, that everybody on that team made a spectacular or better than average play. In and amongst what was going on. Nothing like Gasati had an unbelievable catch down the field. For Trey Burton to kind of scream a little bit when he made the catch because how good it was tells you what it was about. But so Carl had some plays. Gator had some runs. Alvin had some runs. Just everybody contributing and showing what they really made of and to make it a pretty dominating victory.
I tell you, it's been nice with you mentioned a lot of the athletes we have and a lot of people that do want to touch the ball on the games, but it's been nice. They've been very complimentary of each other.
Yeah,
I've felt no selfishness throughout the entire season, and I know we're not going to have that moving forward. I think everyone is. Their main concern is winning the football game, and however we may do it, that's how we do it.
Absolutely, and I guess, like you said, you've seen it where the enthusiasm. We talked about the ones and the twos last week. How when the second string guys are out there, their buddies are down in the end zone. When they're scoring, they're all over it, and they're watching the game. They're not sort of like sitting on the sideline and sort of talking about what they did. They're watching their teammates play the second half, and in this case. You see the same thing going for each other if it's a Carl on the one side or he gets his play, or Ryan Matulovic on the other side getting his play. Everybody is getting together after the play, and their enthusiasm it's contagious. You can see it. The defense as well at getting to the ball, making plays, pressure in the backfield. Things like that are just sort of become commonplace over the last, I'd say, at least 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah, so it's been nice to see, and I think, hopefully we'll see a lot of that this week too as well. Yeah,
big matchup coming up, state semifinal. We'll talk about that a little later on, but at Powell Davis Stadium for the state semifinal, which is, we talk about how rare it is to get that fourth home playoff game, and we got that opportunity again this year.
Yeah, we've I think this might be the fourth one in the last 8 years, maybe.
And again, but back in the day, it used to be where you flip-flopped.
Right.
The one region was the host no matter what.
Right.
1 year, and then you went back and forth.
Evens odds, yep.
And so now it's come down to earning it, which is a really good thing. I think it it legitimizes the way that they're doing
You're exactly right. Yes.
their point system, because that gives everybody you go out there and run the table on a tough schedule. You deserve to get, if you get to that point,
Right.
you deserve a home game. So with that, we'll take a break, come back and do the highlights from the game on Friday night, which I'm sure there's a lot of highlights because there was a lot of things going on. But again, a running clock, so we'll probably see mostly the stuff in the first half and get to choose a little
Right.
stuff as well. With that, we'll be back here at Bogies right after this message.
We would like to take a moment to thank these sponsors for making this show a possibility. Jenkins Chevrolet, State College of Florida, Bogies of Venice, Venice Pest Control, Sarasota Ford, Absolute Aluminum, Chick-fil-A Pelican Plaza, Douglas Jeep, and Lightning Fast Car Wash.
Education, career, future. Find yours right here at the State College of Florida. If you want a flexible schedule with classes offered on campus and online, plus several program options for in-demand fields, look no further. Create your own path today at scf.edu.
And welcome back to Jam-Packed Bogies and the John Peacock Coaches Show. And Coach, since we said we had a lot of highlights, so we're talking about something being jam-packed. I'm sure the highlights are going to be jam-packed tonight.
Riverview got the ball first, and we were able to come up with a stop. I think we had a big play in the backfield here when they run speed option here to our sideline.
Those
They kind of left two unblocked, which should, that's tough to run an option when you leave two unblocked. But nonetheless, we made a great play, put them in a long down situation. And I want to say Chad Fleming makes a nice play here coming up. Well, first of all, I had a stop on the running back there. That's
right.
Eli Seed and Chris Lee. Chris Lee had a great game. Eli had a great game. And then Chad Fleming makes a great play on the ball here. And
fourth down play, correct?
Yes, it was a fourth down play.
Because they were in no man land at that point, to either go forward or to kind of
Right.
a long field goal at that point. That's a monumental kick in high school to go over 50.
And they came out. They got great field position on the kickoff. And me and Coach Shannon both knew something was up. We thought it was going to be a reverse, but it was a pass. So we're like, hey, let's just start yelling when we see what's happening. So we're yelling and a little too late. This is a great escape there by Jaden, and he finds a wide open Gasati and makes a great play down the sideline here.
And in that instance, not trying to overthrow it, he seen him open and gave him a nice easy ball to catch, and up the field he goes.
You see, Gator had a bunch of 10 to 12-yard runs in between that. Didn't how many carries did he have? I think 7.
No, I think he ended up with like 9 or 10, and Alvin had 11, if I'm not
That's
mistaken.
right. It was 10 and 11. Charles Lester makes a great play here.
Oh, yeah.
He had 2 touchdown passes. But I can't say enough about the way Jaden's been throwing the ball and making decisions of where to go with it.
He's getting to the point now where he's throwing guys open. You know what I mean? Get that ball right there. Is thrown backside a little bit, and he's right there.
The Riverview comes back, and they score the next possession, go up 7-6, and then after that we kind of settled in defensively, and we were able to rock and roll the rest of the night. And this is the 80-yard touchdown pass to Zakaro.
Right after the touchdown.
Kind of saw something on film that we liked with our play action there to Zakaro. He was able to make a great play here. Had some guys up front blocking. You see Jace Barksdale up front, making some ground for him there.
And you watch how he's setting that block up. Here comes my guys, expecting him to come, and he's a fast guy. He could have stayed out in front of it, but he does gets him get there.
And then Gator tacks on the 2-point conversion and kind of even it back up. So we went up 14-7.
14-7. And again, we always talk about the players, but the offensive line again had a really good game as well.
The offensive line had a great game, and then from this point forward, defense totally dominated the game. Dominated the run game. Every time they went back to pass, it was near likely to be a sack. Just this totally domination. I see a great play there by
Galloway,
and I think Galloway comes up with a sack right here.
Yeah, right around the edge.
Yeah, right around the edge. And then the next play, I want to say, he has another sack, caused fumble sack.
He did
back to back.
And you could see it coming when you watch. You see him coming in the end. You see he wasn't just going for the sack; he was going for the ball.
And I think that kind of threw them for a loop. I think obviously they came in the game planning to run it. Then they felt like they had to get the ball in the air a little bit to keep up.
There we go. And so you see how I see that arm come out. You knew
Daly almost came up with it. That'd have been huge if we got the ball down there. But
and then once again, Ryan Daly in the first half, you see him. He's in the backfield all the time, which is great for a D tackle.
When you see Gator here with about a 20-yard run out of our jumbo set.
He gets the most out of every run, you know what I mean? So he knows what he's going to get, and he got his, like I said, 10, 12 yards on that one. There he's playing Wildcat.
Gator again, about 15-yard run. I mean, he was getting big chunks, just didn't have that. It didn't end up breaking away. Went over 1,000 yards for the year.
Yep.
I think we'll see Alvin go over 1,000 this week, if I'm not mistaken, or be close to it. Because Ryan Matulovic was a nice catch.
Compliments from a lot of people about watching those guys all catch the ball with their hands, doing it the right way, letting the ball. And Jaden, when he throws a soft, a nice catchable ball.
Yeah, he was on time, right on rhythm. Even when we got ourselves in situations with penalties, we're able to get out of it.
And there's Casati on that one.
Like to see Casati catch and just get forward there, so they're running backwards. Excuse me.
And I do believe is this a touchdown pass here? I think it is.
Yes.
No, this was.
That was a big fourth down.
That was fourth down, right? I knew
play.
something to that play because there was something, and it was close. So he got right on, just past the sticks and got that first down.
And this is a touchdown run with Jaden. All right, boy, they definitely key on Gator, which you have to, which that really leaves some wide open lanes sometimes for our quarterback.
Let's face it, Jaden's the biggest runner the biggest guy running the ball too.
He just got a new bench max this week too, at 330 pounds.
Good.
Nice throw and catch there. It's by Barksdale.
Yeah, he made a play on that. If you saw the whole play develop, he got in front of a guy because it was a little bit off target, and he made a great play on it.
Another nice catch by Lester. Lester made another touchdown here coming up, I think.
Oh, a little fade in the corner, I think is what it was. And there's Alvin.
Yeah, it was almost every time you look up, there's someone else making a play with the ball, and that goes a lot with how well the offensive line's playing. Pass pro and our run blocking.
Right, because they know what to do when they get the ball in their hands. That's the other part of it.
This is the Gasati catch, unbelievable catch.
Ooh. So you didn't quite see it, but he made a catch where he was totally stretched out, ball on his fingertips, and he had the wherewithal in the air to kind of turn his left shoulder in, so the ball didn't get removed from the ground a little bit. So, and this is where we kept on going backwards. Yeah,
we kept going backwards here. We got some penalties. We had a touchdown call back. Had 2 touchdowns called back in the game. This is one that was called back, but still, nice play.
We scored
well blocked until we held at the end. We didn't have to do what we did at the end.
We scored 3 touchdowns to get 1 on the board. I think this is the one that
this
counts.
Is right here. This is the one to Lester.
Nice
Again,
throw.
Jade does
catchable.
a nice job putting it right where it needs to be. And Lester does a nice job going up and getting it.
Yeah, and again, that's your what, 5th wide receiver?
Yeah, he's not even in the starting role.
Yeah. So no, he's did a nice job. Again, getting himself open and getting that ball to be where he can make an easy catch out of it.
He's a mismatch for anybody just because he's so long and explosive. Again, the defense just played lights out.
Chris Lee's become, him and Eli Seed are they're tackling machines right now. Another good play by
big third down
Lee
stop
and Daly on that one. Or actually, I'm sorry, I was thinking it was Seed. Actually, I think the 2 of them were in that one.
We were perfect on offense with the starters. We scored every time we had the ball. There was no stops. We haven't punted in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So knock on wood.
Here's Jaden rolling out a little bit. That throw right there. To be in moving, you're going to the right, and to put that thing right on his hands.
Well, you can see all his throws are tight spirals. They're they have some velocity on them, but they're not, ridiculously hard. But they get there at a good pace, very catchable.
he's in rhythm. You know, it's like he's got
Yeah.
a nice feel to what he's doing.
Vincent Carl makes a nice play here and
We
gets his
saying-
leg stepped on here at the end. I don't know why the fellow wanted to step on his leg, but the
Yeah,
guy steps
saw
on
that.
his leg.
Yeah. And it's a, you know, he runs almost out of control, but he's not. He's under control.
Nice run,
Alvin.
nice blocking. We had the end zone view of that. You'd see what we're talking about. It was great blocking up front. I mean, Alvin just was untouched to the end zone.
This is the beginning of the second half now,
This is the opening kickoff of the second half.
and we're 35-7 at this
35-7. We wanted to get the running clock. I knew this was the last time they were going to kick that ball deep.
Yeah, and again, I was kind of surprised
so
with where they
close.
kicked it to. You know,
Again, Zacarl lets the kicker tackle him. You see, the kicker gets him here. But inside the 40 to start the drive, and I think it was 2 plays later,
yeah, it was quick.
we scored. So Ryan makes a great play here, breaks the tackle, and almost gets in the end zone here. Gets to about the 8-yard line.
I do believe this is another.
And then Gator finishes the deal
Yeah,
here.
this is Gator's
Again,
touchdown.
nice,
Yeah.
nicely blocked, untouched to the end zone. And that initiated the running clock. Riverview hit a long pass the next
Right.
drive.
This is the first try to onside kick, and
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go for a
Yeah,
second.
it was so close. I've seen that happen quite a few times where they.
For all the, I would say, because it is kind of a little bit luck, but all the bad luck we've had on onside
yeah,
kicks,
no
that was
doubt.
a nice bounce that time.
And Alvin has a nice run here.
Good job there by Alvin.
We had a holding penalty, and we come back a couple plays later with the same play, and he has another nice run.
And at both backs, I love the way they set their blockers up. They really do a really good job of kind of putting their hand on their hip and following their blockers. I don't. This is this is another run by Alvin.
And this comes back. We had holding here in this. So that was another touchdown that was called back. That was the second one that was.
And but the effort downfield, the blocking is there,
Yeah.
you know what I
You
mean?
can't. It's very close to whether.
And there it is. That was a nice
great
throw.
pass. Yeah.
I mean, he made it look easy, but it wasn't. He had to
no
drop
doubt.
that thing, and you know he's got to figure out how fast Zacarl is going and get that ball long enough out there to drop it right.
Hit
in
him
his
right in
hands.
stride.
Yep.
See, Macho got some carries. How many carries did Macho have?
6.
9?
He had 6. Yeah.
He's ended up having quite a few carries throughout the year as a freshman. That's pretty impressive as well. And then
And
our
here's
quarterback,
Schaefer.
Schaefer did a nice job.
So once again, 49-23 is the final score. A pretty in the score itself, you know, the competitive part of the game was over at one point, you know, and so they scored a few touchdowns. So I really feel as though like it was a totally good win. I mean, each part played its role. We had 3 touchbacks into the end zone on the kickoff team, 5 for 5
I've been
on
telling
extra
people
points.
what's been the biggest change, and I said it's our kicking game. We haven't been able to punt in 3 weeks, which is a good thing.
Right.
But when we do, we're going to see a really, really big improvement on that, and you can already see the improvement on the kickoff.
Yeah, so all that being the case, you look at it, you say, across the board, it was a total victory. And again, listen, Riverview is a good football team. Okay, they're regional finalists. Okay, so I know that it's familiarity, they're up the street or whatever it may be, but let's not face the facts that they're good, and we played a really good game on Friday night to win that game, and it's noteworthy that we did. I think we deserved the credit.
I think like we've been saying, is we continue to get better each week.
Yeah, there's no doubt
and
about that.
There's a lot to be said about that, especially being that this is going to be our 15th game coming up this Friday. So we're getting better each week in all phases of the game, in our offense, our defense, our special teams, and if we can continue to do that, then we're going to, hopefully we can continue to play.
And then again, going back to what I was saying, when the twos got in, it's contagious. They're running the football well. They're doing things well. They've been scoring. They scored few times in the last few weeks as well. But they're doing their jobs, and it looks.
It was a good battle when they were in.
Right.
With the Riverview starters. I mean,
exactly.
They were ready to play. We went right down there, and we were getting ready to tie the score with them in that final half. I think we had first and goal at the 5.
Right.
So
and I give them credit because they're coming in cold against a team that's already hot.
Yeah, they probably need to stretch out.
They got to go, and so there's a little bit of that you got to give them. You got to give them a little bit of leeway because
the Turkey Bowl was great.
Right. It was.
I'm telling you, the Turkey Bowl was. There was a lot of hard hitting, a lot of great effort.
Competitive, and they're
very competitive.
No
offense ended up winning. I had a couple tricks up my sleeve, but it was a heck of a game to see.
And the Turkey Bowl, for those who don't know, is the Thursday of Thanksgiving Thursday that we went during the practice when the twos play against each other, and it's really
the Turkey
fun.
Bowl. We got a trophy,
and you want to see enthusiasm from the guys who aren't in the Turkey Bowl. They're all about every good play comes with a lot of enthusiasm no matter what side of the ball it's on. So it's a lot of fun.
That's right.
With that, we'll take our next break and come back and we'll talk about this Friday night's Powell Davis Stadium state semifinals. DeLand comes in, and again, well-coached team. We'll talk a little bit about their coach and their little bit of history, and we'll look forward to another great matchup on Friday night. So with that, we'll take a break. Come back here to Bogies and talk about this week's matchup on Friday night. Be right back. Yep.
We would like to take a moment to thank these sponsors for making this show a possibility. Jenkins Chevrolet, State College of Florida, Bogies of Venice, Venice Pest Control, Sarasota Ford, Absolute Aluminum, Chick-fil-A Pelican Plaza, Douglas Jeep, and Lightning Fast Car Wash.
Education, career, future. Find yours right here at the State College of Florida. If you want a flexible schedule with classes offered on campus and online, plus several program options for in-demand fields, look no further. Create your own path today at scf.edu.
And we're back here at Bogies for the John Peacock Coaches Show. And John, DeLand comes in. It's the Bulldogs. Am I not?
Right,
yeah. Okay.
right,
So
yep.
DeLand Bulldogs come in. Rick Darlington is their head coach, guy that you've talked about as far as one of the guys that is a well-known entity, coaching person in the state of Florida, and he brings his DeLand Bulldogs into Powell Davis Stadium for the state semifinals. What can we expect?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great coach. One of the people that I really respect in this business, and he does. I think the main thing that I like is not that he's won championships or not that he's had success in that arena, but he holds his kids accountable. They're always going to be tough.
Sure.
He works them hard, kind of like we do.
Right.
And I respect that, and I speak to him a lot. Got a lot of good things from him. He's given me a lot of good ideas, and so we're going to have a tough football team coming here Friday night.
Right.
They're going to be disciplined. They're not going to quit. You're not going to see any silliness. They're going to be ready to play football. I mean, that's the bottom line.
State semifinals in all classifications, no matter what it is. You got 4 teams. Either they are hot. They've won so many games coming into it, but they're usually well coached and usually very talented. So when you get to that Final Four, everybody's like, "Oh, what do you think?" I said, "Look, if they're there, they can win. That's what you got to expect. This is not like, oh well, no." If they're where they're at, they've beaten some really good playoff teams to get to that point. And that speaks to the coaching, the talent, but also being able to play under pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be said about that because you got to be ready for that moment. There's a lot to be said about being ready for the moment when it comes your way.
That's right. And he's just like I said, he runs a unique offense that's always presents everybody issues because you just don't see it a whole lot, and there's a lot to it, and it's the single wing. And the best way I can kind of describe it is kind of wing T-ish.
Yes,
but not. It's not.
It's not the same.
But with the same deal, like you need to really, if you're playing a really disciplined wing T team that runs it really well, you're going to have your players locked in on their keys, locked in on their assignment, because as soon as you start trying to look at the whole picture, you're going to be totally lost.
Right.
You know, so
because you don't know who's got it, where it's going.
I mean, it's even hard on film to figure out, like, what just happened with the ball. Like, I see it's here, but how did it get there?
You go to, you've been in the stadiums where they have the games where they say, find the football in the helmet, and they move it around. It's like the shell game or whatever it be. And then that's what it's like. Like, who got it? Where did it end up?
I'm serious. When you watch them on film, like, you'll watch it like, oh, the ball's out here. And, you know, your first time watching, you have to kind of go back and slow it down. Like, how did it get there?
Right.
Oh, it started here, then it went here, and then it's all the way back here.
Right.
And then there, you know, there's plays where you see someone running down the field of the ball. Like, what happened there? Like, oh, they snapped it, a 1 yard snap to the fullback, and he just catches it out of the air and you know, runs this, like, basically like a Fumblerooski type deal.
Right.
You know, so and they did run a real Fumblerooski, where they hand it to the guard. He's hiding. So it's going to be a deal where we're going to have to be very disciplined on defense. And not only that, is we're going to have to make plays and get off the field and do all those little things. But not only that, is they got a really good quarterback. I mean, I know you don't really have a quarterback in a single wing,
but in this day and age, you do. You know, there's probably somebody.
This team does.
Right.
I think you actually call the quarterback the fullback.
Right.
And I think anyone can be the fullback whenever they want.
Right.
That's, you know.
Right.
But he's a really good quarterback. I mean, he could be a legit quarterback in a spread offense. Like, he is a big athletic kid that can run the ball. I think he has 1,000 yards rushing, has 1,000 yards passing. He throws a nice ball. They got some good athletes that he can throw the ball to. You know, I know we've played teams that run the single wing in Popka 2 years ago. But just watching it, it's just almost like, you know, he's not the inventor. I know the inventor is Pop Warner.
Yeah.
But
innovator. He innovates. He does things a little.
Yeah.
He takes it another step up.
So the Popka runs it because they're disciples of Coach Darlington.
Right.
And then Treasure Coast runs it because that's
absolutely
he taught them.
He taught them that. Right.
And then Riverdale ran it because that's a disciple of Rick Darlington.
Right.
So we're like meeting like the
now you've seen it, but now you're going to see it. You know,
we're going against the Pop Warner reincarnated
the guru,
Friday night.
The guru.
He is the owner of the offense now. Right. Pop Warner's dead, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, a long time ago.
Right. So all right, he is the owner of this offense.
Right.
Okay.
Now I will say this: the offense is going to be something to watch for sure. Our offense. Look, we're playing pretty well right now. You have to say that. So you would think that's.
But I didn't invent it.
Right. No, but again, there's a lot. What you do is unique to what we our offense is tempo. It's all the different things we get into it. So I'm sure there's on the other side of the ball they're going to be saying, my gosh, watch how we have to play against this offense as well.
Well, I think there's two unique things going on here. Is we're not going to be able to have a scout team replicate what they do, and they're not going to have a scout team replicate what we do.
Right.
So it'll be interesting on both sides of the defense. I think that's going to really tell the story of who wins the game is what defense can come up with some stops.
Yeah, and like I said, so in this kind of game, you know it's going to be the energy level just goes up another 2 notches, let's say, when the semifinal games. When we've seen them at home, you're like, wow, okay, this is a different
a lot more pressure for this one. I mean, I think everyone knows what the meaning of this one is. So, you know, you're right. The team that can play with their, you know, composed and still be tough and still be physical and still play with extreme effort. I mean, those would be the ones that move on.
Absolutely. So with that, we'll take a final break and come back and we'll talk a little bit about what to expect on Friday night and about tickets and you name whatever's going to happen on Friday night. So we're back here at Bogies and we'll let you know how to attend and what to see on Friday night at Powell Davis Stadium. Be right back.
We would like to take a moment to thank these sponsors for making this show a possibility. Jenkins Chevrolet, State College of Florida, Bogies of Venice, Venice Pest Control, Sarasota Ford, Absolute Aluminum, Chick-fil-A Pelican Plaza, Douglas Jeep, and Lightning Fast Car Wash.
Education, career, future. Find yours right here at the State College of Florida. If you want a flexible schedule with classes offered on campus and online, plus several program options for in-demand fields, look no further. Create your own path today at scf.edu.
And we're back here at Bogies for our last quick segment for the John Peacock Coaches Show. And Coach, we want everybody out there. This is the one you got to come to. This is the last home game of the year.
Listen,
Unless
there's
they
not
change
too
it
many
around.
times. You know, it's not so often that you get to have a state semifinal in your area,
Right.
let alone in your hometown.
Right.
So let's come out. It's going to be a great game, great atmosphere, exciting football.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, the fans will be there. Should be another fall weather is kicked in here in Venice, Florida. So we're looking at some great football weather. So everybody needs to be in the attendance. If not, NFHS Network to watch it on there. If you can't watch it at home, but we want you there this week. If one person watches me on a live stream, we have a full crowd. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do. So everybody, please be there. Well, Coach, good luck to you. Obviously, we'll see what happens on Friday night and onward and upward, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
With that, thank you guys for watching the John Peacock Coach Show this week. See you next week from Bogies on the John Peacock Coaches Show.
What time is it? Game time. 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 Going beast mode when the game begin. I worked all summer to be a champion. At Venice High School, all we do is win. Man,